Shankaram Navabhavadaram Navalashyakaram. Navahasyakaram Navahemabharam Pranamami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram. Nava Prema Yutam Nava Nityasucham Nava Vesa Kritam Nava Prema Rasam. I can't hear any of you. Come on, sing. Sing. Sing with some volume. Sing. Nava Prema Yutam Nava Nityasukam Nava Vasa. Two lines each time. Nava Prema Yutam Navam Nityasucham Nava Vesa Kritam Nava Prema Rasam. Louder. Nava Javaisala Sudha Premamayam Navramami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram. Louder. Hari Bhakta Param Hari Navadaram Karjapakaram Harinam Aparam. Dhayane Satyatam Prana Yasudaram Pranamami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram. Satyatam Janatam Bhava Apaharam Pamamartha Payayana Lokagatim. Louder, louder. Jose. Navalehakaram Jagat Tapaharam Pranamami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram. Nija Bhati Karam Piya Sarantaram Navanata Nagara Rajaguru. Kula Kamini Manasam Lasakaram Pranamami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram. Bharatalavam Kalam Tatavaram Miduvarya Sunaka Maduram. Mriduvaya Sunaya Nija Bhakti Guna Vita Nadyakaram Pranamami Sati Sutta Swarupamadhyayam Purna Nanda Sutam Garane Sutitam Bhavatsitam Dhana Dhyana Chitam Nija Vasayutam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Bodhavaram Arunam Nayanam Charanam Vasanam Vadanam Savitam Swata Navadaram Kurute Surasam Jagata Jivanam Paramami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram Bhavaram Nava Pushpasaram Navabhagaram Navadasyaparam Louder. Jose, Jose. Bhavaram Nava Pushpasaram Navabhagaram Navadasyaparam Bhavahashakaram Nava Hemavaram Paramami Sati Sutta Bodhavaram 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 Jaya Goranidhai, 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 Jai Goranidhai. Jaya Goranidhai, 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 Jai Goranidhai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nitai Gauranga, Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Satinanda, Jaya Satinanda, Jaya Satinanda, Jaya Satinanda, Gora, Gora, Gora Hare Gora, 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 Gora Hare Gora, Jaya Satinanda, Gora Hare Jaya Satinanda, Gora Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Gaur Premanande Hadi Hadi Hari Bol. Mukunda Sahita Purva Achi Parichaya Mukunda Dehiya Tara Haila Vishmaya. Translation: Gopinath Acharya had previously been acquainted with Mukunda Dutt, and when the Acharya saw him at Jagannath Puri, he was very much astonished. So we'll be reading a series of verses, at least 20 verses, on the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. This is when Lord Chaitanya came to the temple of Lord Jagannath, and seeing Lord Jagannath, he went into ecstasy and lost consciousness. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, not understanding this great personality, thought he was just doing some kind of, what you might say, sahajya. And actually one of the guards came over, and they were going to beat him, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya stopped him, took him to his place. Now the devotees are looking for Lord Chaitanya. So now here, Gopinath Acharya is actually the cousin or nephew of, actually the nephew of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And so he's come with many devotees and they're looking for Lord Chaitanya. So they meet with Mukunda Dat, who is already there. So Mukunda Dat offers obeisances to Gopinath Acharya upon meeting him. Then the Acharya embraced Mukunda Dat and inquired about the news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mukunda Dat replied, "The Lord has already arrived here. We have come with him." As soon as Gopinath Acharya saw Nityananda Prabhu, he offered his obeisances unto him. In this way, meeting all of the devotees, he asked about the news of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again. Mukunda Dat continued, "After accepting the sannyas order, Lord Chaitanya has come to Jagannath Puri and has brought all of us with him. Lord Chaitanya left our company and walked ahead to see Lord Jagannath. We have just arrived and we are now looking for him." So there's two groups. Some will Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, few, and now the main group of devotees who are looking for Lord Chaitanya, headed by Gopinath Acharya, are looking for Lord Chaitanya. From the talk of the people in general, we have guessed that the Lord is now at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Upon seeing Lord Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became ecstatic and fell unconscious. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has taken him to his home in this condition. Just as I was thinking of meeting you by chance, we have actually met. First, let us all go to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and see Lord Chaitanya. Later, we shall come to see Lord Jagannath. Hearing this and feeling very pleased, Gopinath Acharya immediately took all the devotees with him and approached the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Arriving at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, everyone saw the Lord lying unconscious. Gopinath Acharya became very unhappy to see him in this condition, but at the same time, he was happy just to see the Lord. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya permitted all the devotees to enter his house, and upon seeing Nityananda Prabhu, the Bhattacharya offered him obeisances. Sarvabhauma met with all the devotees and offered them a proper welcome. They were all very pleased to see Lord Chaitanya. The Bhattacharya then sent them all back to see Lord Jagannath, and he asked his own son, Chandaneshwara, to accompany them as a guide. Everyone was then very pleased to see the deity of Lord Jagannath. Lord Nityananda in particular was overwhelmed with ecstasy. When Lord Nityananda Prabhu nearly fainted, all the devotees caught him and steadied him. At that time, the priest of Lord Jagannath brought a garland that had been offered to the deity and offered it to Nityananda Prabhu. Everyone was pleased to receive this garland worn by Lord Jagannath. Afterwards, they all returned to the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying. All the devotees then began to loudly chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And by this loud chanting, the Lord, just before noontime, regained his consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and very loudly chanted, Hari, 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 Hari. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very pleased to see the Lord regain consciousness, and he took the dust of the Lord's lotus feet. The Bhattacharya informed all of them, please take your midday baths immediately. Today I shall offer you Mahaprashanam, the remnants of the food offered to Lord Jagannath. After bathing in the sea, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees soon returned. Then the Lord washed his feet and sat down on a carpet to take lunch. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya made arrangements to bring various kinds of Mahaprasadam from the Jagannath temple. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then accepted lunch with great happiness. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was offered special rice and first-class vegetables on a golden plate. He thus took lunch in the company of his devotees. While Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya personally distributed the prasadam, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested him, please give me only boiled vegetables. Lapra Vagya is a preparation in which many vegetables are boiled together and then a chaunce is added, consisting of spices like cumin, black pepper, and mustard seeds. Om Gyantam Vedandasya Gana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivasesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarine Vanshaha Gopatarupischa Kripa Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, just upon seeing Lord Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya lost consciousness completely. Lord Chaitanya would have three different consciousness that would alternate in his life. That was waking consciousness, internal consciousness, external consciousness, internal consciousness, and half external and half internal. Sometimes he would be absorbed in internal consciousness, seeing Krishna with the gopis in rasa dance, or seeing Krishna with the Radharani in Govardhan Hill. And then the devotees would come and chant very loudly. And he would come back to consciousness and he would say, why you brought me here? I was just with Krishna in Govardhan Hill and he was with all of the gopis. Now you brought me back here. And he would get angry. So this was his ecstasy. Lord Chaitanya is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha. Krishna Nahiyanya. He is Radharani's mood of bhakti. Her mood is the highest of all unknown moods of bhakti in existence. Her love and her dedication to pleasing Krishna can never be understood or explained even by Krishna. So deep and so pure and it's so continuous that she cannot live, she doesn't live even without a second of not thinking about Krishna or serving Krishna or making plans to give Krishna pleasure. That's Srimati Radharani. So Lord Chaitanya has taken her mood and he's come to introduce, could you move this thing? Introduce this Sankirtan movement in the ecstasy of Radharani's love for Krishna. So we take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because we are actually Rupanugas. We are followers of Lord Chaitanya, whose teachings was given to Rupa Goswami. So the teachings that we learn in terms of our execution of bhakti is coming from Rupanuga, or actually Rupa Goswami, who has given us the science of bhakti. So Lord Chaitanya, he's teaching from the position of a devotee what it's like to worship the Lord in the mood of what we say spontaneous love for the Lord. Lord Chaitanya didn't come here to teach rules and regulations. Do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. These are necessary in the very beginning of our Krishna conscious practice. But we're meant to continue to make advancement through chanting, through serving, through worshiping, and developing an attraction for Krishna. Attraction for Krishna is natural. It is natural as the breathing of the air is natural for the living entity in the material world. But that natural awareness of our actual love for Krishna is hidden amongst all of these external energies, the three modes of material nature. And the process of bhakti is meant to cut through all of these coverings and bring us to our pure consciousness, Krishna consciousness, where spontaneous attraction to Krishna becomes the only conscious of the devotee. And so Lord Chaitanya is teaching that by his example and by his words, of course, also, especially through the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. The holy name of the Lord is the means by which we move forward in our practice of devotional service. We purified our Chaito Darpanam Arjanam, Bhava Mahadevagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kaiva Vichandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Patipadam Purnam Rita Swardanam Sarvatma Snaparam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Lord Chaitanya gives the formula, or he gives the ingredients that make up the activities of devotional service in the form of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So now we see here Lord Chaitanya, he comes to Jagannath temple. Lord Chaitanya and Lord Jagannath are not different. They're the same person in two different forms. So he's seeing himself. But he's not seeing through the eyes of God, he's seeing through the eyes of the devotee of God. He's seeing through Radharani's bhakti, Radharani's bhava. And therefore, when he sees Krishna in Radharani's bhava, although he is Krishna, he goes into ecstasy for himself in her mood of devotion to him. Very difficult to understand, Lord Chaitanya. It's impossible. But still, we get an understanding from Shastra how his mood is to worship himself in the mood of her love. Therefore, he wants to find out what is it about her that is so wonderful. What is the nature of her love for him? What is the happiness she feels in that loving relationship? And what is it about him that attracts her to him so spontaneously? He doesn't even know how great he is. He's God. He's supposed to know everything. But one thing he doesn't know how great he is. One time Krishna was in Dwarka. He was walking in one of the palaces in Dwarka, and they have these big columns, just like these, but they're made out of glass or some kind of reflecting material. And he passes by, and then he, ooh, who's that? And he goes back, oh, that's me. He sees himself and he becomes attracted to himself. So that's Krishna. So he's the most attractive, and he even attracts himself. But he can only attract himself in a real way when he becomes his devotee. So we have a natural attraction for Krishna. It says that the devotee who has that attraction for Krishna enjoys that attraction for Krishna even greater than Krishna enjoys the attraction for everything he's attracted to, except for Radharani. So it says that the devotee experiences the happiness of devotion to Krishna, attraction to Krishna, even on the same level that Krishna experiences happiness. And that's the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's come to give this great science of Harinam Sankirtan and service to the Vaishnavas. When he was teaching he was teaching Rupa Goswami in Prayag, Dasvaneda Ghat, for 10 days. He spoke the whole science of bhakti. Rupa Goswami noted it down, later on wrote it in the form of Nectar of Devotion, which is the science, the handbook of bhakti. Prabhupada said, read that book. He said, read it once, read it twice, read it thrice. He said that it's such an important understanding of the whole science of bhakti, very nicely explained in a very summarized form by Srila Prabhupada. Just recently, they did the whole Nectar Devotion from everything that Rupa Goswami gave. What Prabhupada gave was a summary. But now the devotees in ISKCON have just completed the whole Nectar Devotion, 3,500-page book. Not one book, 5 books. Each book 700 pages, hardcover, beautiful. Yeah, they're going through the final editing, and maybe in the next 6 months it should be available for devotees. So you can absorb yourself deeply in what Rupa Goswami heard from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and of course also about the life of Rupa Goswami. It's also there. So yeah. So this nectar devotion is so important. And then Lord Chaitanya, he also taught the importance of hearing every day Srimad Bhagwatam, Nasta Prayeshu, Avadeshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhagavati Naistiki. That by hearing every day the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, all that's inauspicious, those things that block us from our relationship with Krishna, gradually destroyed through hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And then it is explained that, then one can come to the platform of almost pure love of God. Not quite, there's still have to go a little bit further. But this Bhagavatam is Krishna in transcendental sound vibration. And Lord Chaitanya glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam as the best of all transcendental scriptures describing Krishna and Sri Vrindavan Dham. Associating with and serving devotees, coming to the temple, seeing the beautiful form of the Lord, offering pranams to the Lord, offering obeisances to the Lord, offering prayers to the Lord, offering gifts to the Lord, and seeing the Lord in his deity form, praying for his mercy, praying for his kindness upon us so we can somehow or other chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The deity is also very merciful. Krishna has come in the form of the deity and the form of his holy name. He's also come in the form of prasad in this age. So he's come in so many forms just to remind us that this material world is not where you look, what you're looking for. Here's where you can find real happiness and real success in life. And then, of course, living in a holy place. So if you're living in the temple, that's considered a holy place. And if you live at home, make your home a holy place by installing deities in your home and worship the deities there. Then the home becomes a mandir. You offer all your food to the Lord. You can see the Lord, you can offer obeisances, you can pray. Your home becomes just like a temple. And then the supreme proprietor of the home is not the husband, wife, it's God. He's there. And if you have to make any decisions, you go before the deity and you say, my dear Lord, this is our problem. Help us to make a decision. And then you make some sincere prayer and the answer automatically comes in due course of time. So so worshiping the deity and living in a holy place, Bhagwatam, serving Vaishnavas and chanting the holy name. This is what Lord Chaitanya was the essence of what he gave to Srila Rupa Goswami. But out of those five, Lord Chaitanya emphasized two above all of the five. And that's chanting of the holy name, associating and serving Vaishnavas. To associate with and to serve Vaishnavas is the highest form of service. Krishna says, he who says he's my devotee is not my devotee. He who says he's a devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. One who serves the devotees actually pleases the Lord even more than those who try to serve the Lord directly. So yeah, we take advantage, come to the temple, associate with, and find ways to serve the devotees. There's so many. Rupa Goswami writes in Nectar of Instructions, the 6 loving exchanges between devotees, revealing confidential knowledge to one devotee. And that devotee hears that confidential knowledge. To give gifts, just like people give gifts in this world on different occasions, birthdays and holidays, they give gifts. Or they just give gifts. So giving gifts is one of the 6 loving exchanges, receiving gifts, and giving prasad and receiving prasad. Someone asked Prabhupada, some devotees, they like to eat prasad, and other devotees like to serve prasad. Which is better? Prabhupada said, they're the same. Why? Because the medium of exchange is Krishna. One is giving Krishna, one is receiving Krishna. So that makes it equal. So if you're sitting there thinking, boy, I'm serving, and they're eating, they're enjoying. No, you're actually getting just the same mercy by serving the Vaishnavas. So these are the 6 loving exchanges that's mentioned. And Prabhupada said, we have established these temples around the world to facilitate these 6 loving exchanges. This is the purpose of the temple, to bring devotees together, to exchange these loving relationships, and to worship the Lord in different ways, and to inspire others to come and take part in worship, especially chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Mahaprabhu, he came to give us the very simple, we say simple, formula for God realization, Harinam Sankirtan, Vaishnav Seva. These are the 2 main things. And of course, just to keep you doing those 2 things, take prasad. All 3 are needed. Okay, so this is Mahaprabhu's appearance is coming up. This is our New Year's. Some people say, well, New Year's was January 1st. We don't believe that. This is our New Year. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, that's the beginning of the New Year, actually. And so we worship Lord Chaitanya as bringing in the New Year. So there, bringing in the New Year means now I have a chance to To increase the quality of my devotion, I increase the quantity of my devotion. I have a chance to worship Lord Chaitanya more and more and more. So Gaur Purnima is the most important day for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas on the calendar. So we honor that day as the supreme glorification of the Supreme Lord as Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is, as I mentioned, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Noyanya. He's both Radha and Krishna in one. He's not an avatar, he's avatari. He's the source of avatars, like that. So he's the combination of both. Sometimes you see on certain altars, like if you go to Mayapur, you'll see on the main altar, you see Radha and Krishna deity, and then you see a deity of just Mahaprabhu is there. Because Mahaprabhu is in the same mood as Radha and Krishna, which means the mood of Vrindavan, like that. And he destroys the effects of this Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga Pavana, Kali Boyanasana, Sri Sachinandana Namrani. 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 Sri Sachinandana Namrani. Kali's like a dog. Lord Chaitanya has the stick. And the dog runs away. Lord Chaitanya, he chases the dogs, you know. So if you take shelter of Lord Chaitanya, there's no Kali Yuga dog can bother you. Because Kali Yuga is full of dogs. Not some different kinds of dogs. Some of them are politicians. Some of them are whatever they are. There's little dogs, bigger dogs, big dog, stick, honey name. The dogs go running away. Lord Chaitanya is very merciful. Prabhupada was walking one time. Oops. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Rama. Prabhupada was walking one time with all of his devotees. And many of them were sannyasis. They were carrying their danda. So, dogs. Yeah, so that's what they're for. Otherwise, why carry it? It's for driving away the dogs. A dog like people, too. Another time, Prabhupada was walking and with his devotees, and one dog came, and Prabhupada went, hut, hut! And the dog went running away. So devotees were watching how Prabhupada did that. So one devotee, he was thinking, I got it. No. So they were walking forward, another dog came, and one devotee went, hut, hut! The dog went, rah! And then the devotee ran. Prabhupada said, you don't know the science. Yeah, so it says, Lord Chaitanya is very kind, very merciful. Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaura Triste Namaha. His mercy is so great that we learn, of course, the stories of Jagai and Madai and how he showed his mercy to so many unqualified people to receive the mercy, but yet by his presence, he made them qualified simply by his presence. That's Lord Chaitanya. How he gave love of God to a leper, Vasudev and Kurmashetra. What was the quality of that leper? He just wanted to see Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya had passed through. And then the leper was thinking, oh, I'm so fallen, I'm so despicable, I have no good qualities. I wanted to see the Lord, but I didn't even do that. And Lord Chaitanya, when he understood, because he's in the hearts of all living entities, he came back and he went to that leper and he saw them. And then the leper was so happy. And Lord Chaitanya ran towards him, embraced him, and his leprosy completely disappeared. And then Lord Chaitanya was looking at him and he said, you don't look happy. Why? The leper said, well, now his leprosy was all gone. He said, my dear Lord, you have shown me your special mercy. Then I will become proud. Because you have recognized me, you have purified me, I will become proud. And that's the worst thing. I don't want to become proud. So Lord Chaitanya said, do one thing and you'll never become proud. And this is a general statement. He said, always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. He said, if you're always chanting Hare Krishna, you'll never become proud. And you'll always be with Krishna in sound. We have to practice. We can do that. Lord Chaitanya has given that formula, and he's also giving you the mercy by which you can achieve that. To chant always Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Some people think, oh, if I chant all the time, I'll get nothing else done. Good. That's very good. But actually, you can still do your other duties, and if you're chanting, as Prabhupada said, 16 rounds on the beads, innumerable rounds off the beads. What is it? You got any Bengalis here? How many Bengalis? Hatte koro kaje, mukhi bolo huri. Hatte koro kaje, mukhi bolo huri. So work with your hands and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And you're always in association with the Lord and always protected from the onslaughts of the material energy, which are constantly coming many times. So this is what Lord Chaitanya is. Patita pavana hetu tava avatar mosama patita prabhu napai bayar. So kind, so merciful. So we honor not him. We don't honor him only on his appearance day. We honor him every moment because of Lord Chaitanya is the supreme mercy in this age. Without his mercy, there's no question of even approaching Radha and Krishna. There's no question of even becoming Krishna conscious without Lord Chaitanya. But there's somebody who's more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Who's that? Nityananda. He is very kind. When Jagai and Madai insulted Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya wanted to destroy them. But Lord Nityananda said, no, we didn't come here to kill the body, we came here to kill the mentality. So he stopped Lord Chaitanya from destroying them, and therefore he's considered to be more merciful. And by Nityananda's mercy, Lord Chaitanya gave them love of God. Fast. Amazing. How such sinful people, I mean, their crimes were so much that when Yamaraj was asking his secretary, what are the crimes of Jagaya Mada, he said, we can't keep up. We have 30 new scribes who are writing down, and they're 1 month behind, and they're exhausted. So yeah, they couldn't keep up with it. But when Yamaraj heard and learned that they received the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, he fainted. Can you imagine Yamaraj fainting? He's very sober. He's the most sober of all of the devas. He just fainted. He was amazed, shocked, overwhelmed, just in how merciful Lord Chaitanya is. So we can. But don't take advantage of that mercy. Try to take his mercy and distribute that mercy to everyone. That's Lord Chaitanya's. Also, he says, I am a gardener and I have a whole storehouse full of fruit. Those fruits are the fruits of love of God. And I'm tasting them, and they are very sweet. And I'm enjoying these fruits. But I want to distribute these fruits to everyone. I want them to also taste the sweetness. But I'm only one person. How much can I do? So taste these fruits yourself, and then go out and distribute it to others. So that's Lord Chaitanya's instruction. Preach Krishna consciousness, or find ways to reach the conditioned souls with this mercy. You're doing that, but we always think we're not doing it enough. We want to do more. That's the mood of a devotee, always wants to do more. Okay, so I'm supposed to end by 9 o'clock. So it's 5 after 9. So we still have 23 hours and 55 minutes before it becomes 9 o'clock again. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Lord Chaitanya. You can say anything about Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda Panchatattva, yes. Nitai. Nitai has been given the name Nitai. Can you imagine getting the name Nitai? My God. Automatically you're worshipable simply by having that name. Questionnaire, okay. Prashna. Okay. How can we understand?
We have come to this movement, but still, like, there's so much confusion, so many going around, like, what if matlab, is the real avatar of Krishna, like, what is like his position here? So we wanted to clarify all the doubts around him.
The question is, what is the... I heard most of it, but I didn't get the question at the end.
He has so many doubts that whether Lord Chaitanya is actually Krishna's avatar. So how do you understand his position properly?
Oh, well, the Shastras give it. In Bhagwatam, he's mentioned, but he's Chana avatar. Chana means hidden. He doesn't come as God, he comes as the servant of God. So he's hidden, he's Chana. He's also called Tri Yuga. That means in 3 of the yugas, there are 4 yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The Lord comes as the Lord, but in Kali Yuga, he comes as a devotee of the Lord, therefore he's called Tri Yuga, or the Lord who appears in 3 yugas, but in 1 yuga, he appears as the devotee of the Lord. But if you read the Puranas, there are so many statements that give evidence of Lord Chaitanya by his birth in Navadvip, by his connection with Mother Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra, by his color, by his mission, by many descriptions are there. What you find in the Bhagwatam, you find about 2 or 3 references in the Bhagwatam of Lord Chaitanya being God, but in an indirect way. But if you hear from the acharyas, those who are in line with Lord Krishna, they come into line, they teach Lord Chaitanya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they worship Lord Chaitanya also. So, if you're looking for evidence, it's there, the Shastras. And Shastra is like mother. Mother teaches all about father. So in the same way, God is known through, or God is revealed through the Shastras. Especially, of course, Chaitanya Charitamrita is full. The whole Chaitanya Charitamrita is all about Lord Chaitanya. And that was put together by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami after Lord Chaitanya disappeared. He was asked to write from the notes of Sarup Damodar Goswami and from Raghunath Das Goswami all about the life of Lord Chaitanya. He put together this scripture which we are reading from today. But from Bhagwatam you can find references in some of the Puranas. You can find Padma Purana also, Linga Puranam, Markandeya Puranam, what else? The Garuda Purana also has. They all have references to Lord Chaitanya as being the Supreme Lord. Or they have reference to that person who appears in Kali Yuga and what is his mission. His mission is Kaler Doshanidhi Raja Asti Eko Mahagun, to spread the glories of the chanting of the holy name to every corner of the world. So with a little time and a little research, you can find so many evidences that support that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, and he's come in this age. Without Shastra, we are subjected to our own ideas and speculations. The Shastra is coming from God. Shastra gives the evidence that we need to understand the process of bhakti and who is God and what is God, what is the nature of God, and how the Lord appears in his different incarnations. So it's all there in Shastra. There's one verse in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagwatam mentioning Lord Chaitanya. Also, Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagwatam talks about the incarnations of God in different colors. So in one age he comes in the color of yellow or golden. So that's Lord Chaitanya. He's Gauranga. Gaura, Anga. Anga means limbs, Gaura means golden. So that incarnation who appears in this age is Gauranga, golden-limbed. So that was established by Prahlad Maharaj, who was a Mahajan. In other words, he's a great soul. He knows the Shastras. He can teach the Shastras also. So it's all there. It's in the Shastra. We're not assuming anything. We're not talking about hearsay. We're talking about solid scriptural evidence. It's all there. So don't doubt it, because it's true. Lord Chaitanya is right there. He's right on the altar. That's his form. He's come in the form of the deity, so we can actually see him. We can serve him by offering things to him We can get his mercy by chanting the holy names. So he comes in the form of the deity. Is that all right? Are you convinced, or you still need more? You convinced? Okay. Because it says, for the doubting soul, there's neither happiness in this world or in the next. So those who doubt will never be able to understand anything. So if you have doubts, get your doubts cleared. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj।
हाँ,
अहंकार के कविता के कारण अहंकार आता है और कभी कभी इतना अहंकार हो जाता है कि वैष्णव बंद कर देता है। आज भली भांति पता चलता है कि अपराध कर रहा है, लेकिन इतना अहंकार आ जाता है कर ही बैठता है अपराध। तो ये कविता के कारण जो अहंकार आता है, कविता कैसे नष्ट होता है?
ahankara.
So Maharaj, he's asked that due to ignorance, due to ignorance, due to avidya, ignorance, our false ego manifests,
Yeah.
and then we create many offenses towards others. So how can we get rid of this ignorance?
By knowledge. The scriptures give you the knowledge to destroy ignorance. Ignorance means to ignore, comes from the word ignore. You're ignoring who? You're ignoring God. That's ignorance. So, the knowledge you need to overcome ahankara is given to us by Guru, by Sadhu, by Shastra. If you don't trust God or Guru, then you're lost. We put our trust in people in this world, and we hope things go on in a certain way because of that trust. But the source of all knowledge is the person who is the source of everything. Krishna is the source of all knowledge. And he makes that knowledge available through his devotees, especially those who are qualified to receive that knowledge, and they give that knowledge to you. That's the Guru. That's the great souls. So, ignorance is destroyed by knowledge. Real knowledge. So read the scriptures, hear from the great souls, and understand what is the reality. Get out of the mood of, get out of the consciousness of, I don't know. Yeah, and because we are acting on the false ego, which means we think where there's body, we think where there's mind, therefore we commit offenses here. Those who are in knowledge, they can avoid committing offenses because they know what to do and what not to do. That's why the scriptures have two things, anukulena and pratikul. Anukulena means things that you should do, and pratikul means things you should avoid. That's knowledge. So learn what is favorable for your spiritual practice and learn to avoid what is unfavorable. The knowledge is there. Take advantage of it. I don't think he understands my answer. Do you understand the answer?
Yes, translate.
He's translating. Okay. You are? You've been translating all the while? Okay. Good.
Little question of mine.
Mhm.
There is a question. It is my question. So my question is that you just brought up a point that in Kali Yuga is a full of faults.
Yeah.
So we have the solution is holy name. So like when I started chanting the holy name, so the taste I got for the first place. So I lost that taste. I am not relishing to the extent I had tasted for the first place. So how to revamp that taste?
Well, you were innocent at the time, and now you have so much knowledge. And because you have so much knowledge, you start to see, oh, this is good, this is bad, this guy's no good, this person's in Maya, this Mataji, she's just a disturbance. So, we start making all kinds of what we say, mental opinions. In the beginning, when we start chanting, we think, everything is so nice, and everybody looks like pure devotees. But then after some time, we realize so then you start seeing devotees according to, the material conception, and then that becomes a problem. And then you can't chant properly, you can't chant. So we should always be in the proper consciousness, seeing all living entity as parts and parcels of Krishna, seeing ourselves as the servant. We are servants. We're not the enjoyer, we're the servants. Krishna is Bhokta, and we enjoy when we serve Krishna, or we serve Krishna's devotees. That's our happiness. So there may have been some offenses there. Avoid the 10 offenses. Those, they make it difficult to taste the happiness of chanting.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare. Any more questions?
Maharaj, how can we please Lord Chaitanya?
How can we what?
Please Lord Chaitanya.
Two things. This mosquito thinks I'm his breakfast. I got some good stuff here, anyway. Yeah. How can we please Lord Chaitanya? It says, do two things. One is chant the holy names and develop an attraction for chanting. So Namruchi. And then the other thing is the Adosha Darshi. Adosha Darshi. Darshi means to see, dosha means fault. Adosha means no faults. One who does not see the faults of others. So Lord Chaitanya said, I give my full mercy to one who chants the holy name and doesn't find fault with others. So these things are very dear to Lord Chaitanya. If you like to find fault, you don't have to give it up. Just find fault in yourself, that's all. And you'll find out you won't get tired. You'll be doing it all day. Yeah, it's like that. So, try to see the good qualities of everyone. Everyone has good qualities. Everyone has faults, but focus on the good qualities. And then, those who are always looking for faults or finding faults or see, or focusing on faults. You can see faults, but don't focus on them. Focus on the good qualities. Yeah. Is that okay? It's just two things: chant the holy names and don't find fault with Vaishnavas. Another question? Yeah.
My question was, when we realize our mistakes, what we have done in our spiritual life, and as time passes by, we start forgetting those realizations of the mistakes that we have done. How can we prevent from forgetting
Well, when we start seeing all of the mistakes we had, then what happens?
we start forgetting our realizations about the mistakes done.
Yeah.
So how can we prevent them?
Prevent the mistakes?
Prevent or realizing those mistakes.
No, you should realize your mistakes. That way you can correct them. Because if you think you're perfect, then you'll make more mistakes.
So Maharaj, his question is that sometimes when we make mistakes, so we realize our mistake, but after some time again, we're back at it.
Makes the same mistake again.
We keep making the same mistakes.
There's two ways to learn. The best way to learn is by hearing. Hearing what to avoid so you don't make mistakes. And the other way is that when you make mistakes, you realize it's a mistake and then you remember, oh, I should avoid that. So you can learn by experience or you learn by hearing. Hearing is better. It's more effective. See, we are creatures of habit. We get into a habit and we keep acting within that same mood, and then we keep making the same mistake over and over again. So you have to be a little bit aware that, okay, I'm making a mistake, so I have to stop doing those things that are causing me to commit mistakes. That's part one. The other part is to pray to Krishna for his mercy, to help you overcome these mistakes. Yeah. But if you keep forgetting, you make the same mistakes over again. But if you chant the holy name always, you won't make any mistakes. That's the safest way.
I actually had a question. That you mentioned that in order to please Lord Chaitanya, we shouldn't seek people's faults. But he says that
No, you can't help but seeing faults sometimes, but you should not focus on that. You just take your mind away from that and start thinking about that person's good qualities. That's all.
so he says in his, like sometimes you're in a position of responsibility where you are like
Correcting people.
you're correcting people. So how to do that properly?
Hate the sin and not the sinner. The fault is the thing that you're trying to get rid of. You're not trying to get rid of the person. You're trying to help that person, so you're doing it as a service to that person. That's seva. But if you find faults in others, Krishna will find faults in you. But if you have a service that you have to make things go on in a certain way. You have to correct people. That's your service. But you should realize that that person is still very dear to Krishna. You're helping them by correcting them. If their faults disturb you, then that's your problem. If their faults disturb you, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, if the faults of others disturb you, look inside yourself and see why you're being disturbed. What is it about you that's causing yourself to be disturbed? So, when it comes to seva, make the corrections, try to help the person. It's a service. That's all. We all make mistakes, right? Until we reach the stage of pure devotion, then we don't make any mistakes. So, if a person comes to the doctor and says, I have this disease, the doctor says, you got a disease, ha, ha, ha. No, the doctor's there to help. He's not going to find fault with the patient. He's going to help him, give him the right medicine, the right, lifestyle. Tell him, don't do this, don't do this, do this. Breathe through the inhaler, take the medicine. Ki Jai tomorrow. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. All Lord, glories to Lord Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Hare.
So
Thank you.
This gratitude